This is your daily market recap for Wednesday, September 14th, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka The Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Wednesday, September 14th, 2022. Hopefully you're doing well. Another amazing day in the markets. Hopefully people are, being safe, being thoughtful, and just knowing that they know. We talk about this all the time. Trading is not easy. The market's going to do what it's going to do. Well, if you were hanging out, following the channel, following Twitter. Again, sorry, Discord is now shut down to the public, but a lot going on. There's no ambiguity here. Hopefully making it pretty clear as much as I can. Now, again, if you want to be involved, I always say when the student's ready, teacher's appear. I am not here to just be a gopher for your answers. I appreciate if you're studying, learning, and trying to do things, and I can help if I can. Ultimately, this is a buy-yourself game. I am not responsible for your trading, nor should you want anyone to be. So, market's going to do what it's going to do. I appreciate all the love and support, as always, and let's get into it. Bitcoin. Said this for the last couple weeks. It just looks like it's dead money. If you're bullish, got to hold the lows. If you're bearish, doesn't need to take out the highs. At this point, I think it's very similar to what I think is happening in gold. Now, again, I don't know ultimately what happens with gold downside because, again, I don't know about Bitcoin's longevity. Seems like it'll be around, but it's not stand the test of time like, say, gold or silver. But point being is that both gold, silver, Bitcoin, commodities will all get flushed at the end, and then they should rise. People don't think about that. They just think that the market goes one way, and I've said this a bazillion times. You might believe silver, gold, uranium, oil is undersupplied, there's issues, yada, yada, yada. Doesn't matter. What I'm trying to explain to you is when the market crashes, which it eventually will, that's how a bear market ends. Last leg down is rather scary. We're not there yet. But what's it going to do? It's going to take everything down. For me, I think oil is getting back down in the 60s. We talked about the double top, shorting, and at this point, I'm not shorting oil, but I can see the logic behind it. That's all I can say. Wait for pops. 890 seems to be the next ceiling. We'll see. I don't have a strong feeling on it because, again, there is a lot of geopolitical stuff. Hurricane season. I think it goes lower. I just don't know if it's going to be as simple as, say, some of the market names that are easier to short. Hope that helps. I know that's very vague, and people are going to be like, oh, but tell me what to do. When I don't know, I just don't do it. I'm not trading it. That's all I can say. The dollar. Nice little pop. Probably comes back down into the 29s at some point. That's my expectation. Now everyone's going to call for the end of the dollar, and I've said this a bazillion times. The dollar's last move is ultimately a straight line shot higher, just like the bear market. The straight line shot down capitulates. Where we go from here at this point, it's going to be sloppy, choppy. And I think it ultimately resolves higher. It's just a matter of when, not if. TLT, talked about this slow builder. Nice building on yesterday's gains. Don't get excited about anything near term, but if you were buying down here, this was a gift. Talk about bear traps all the time. Goes lower, closes higher. You saw it today on the SPY, 10-minute, the close. We'll talk about it. At this point, I just warn people, please, be smart. And when I say, be smart, everyone's like, what does that mean? If you don't know what's going on, or if you do and you're just, you're a little confused, I would just say very softly, nicely, put time on your side. If you think bonds are going to go higher because the market's going to freak out and people are going to go look for safety, just know the past. What happened in 2008? Yeah, the TLT popped like 30 points, 30 plus points. It's probably going to happen again. It just might not be tomorrow. Might not be next week. Don't know. The VIX. Talked about it. It's probably coming back down. Could it fill the gap before the FOMC? Tough to know. But I don't see the VIX breaking out for a while now. Meaning it probably compresses here because everyone's bearish. I don't like seeing the put-call ratios near 2. I don't like seeing everybody on stock puts yelling, buy puts, short the market. Because, again, if the market's liquidity-seeking mechanism that's going to take the most amount of money for the most amount of people, then the market tanking now doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. Now, again, it could get choppy and sloppy at the bottom and then pop at some point. That's my guess. The Vixen, talked about, probably going to come back down. Could it fill the gap? Always possible. Let's talk about the SPY, because this is where it gets pretty interesting today. Another retest. Said this morning in the Discord room, said, I wouldn't be surprised if we closed at the highs or a doji. Either way, something that doesn't look like continuation. There you go. If you go watch the live chat from earlier, we talked about, I literally called it. As we were talking, I said, bear trap. Watch the low range. First candle, then it chopped, and everyone's like, time to get in. It's like, gotta be safe. This wick confirmed it for me, and then we went and closed near the high of the range. I am short-term bullish, long-term bearish. How you want to interpret that? Well, let me keep it simple for you. I'm expecting a bounce, then we will short. Just like we shorted up at the range highs. We talked about you'd get bounces. We played that. Talked about this bounce, played that. I think, as I said, let me go back to the SPY. Very simple. I've said this many times. If you don't know, watch previous videos. We get either a chop top or a double top. Notice here you came up, came down, came right back. There's another one right over here. Popped up, came down, came back. I think that's what we finished with. I'm sorry that people don't like to hear that, but I'm telling you, the position sizing, the positions of the market makers versus retail want this up near term. That's all I can really say. Now, people don't like to hear that. They want to hear, like, this is that and that and that. And, I'm sorry. You can also, I was looking at some other people drawing some of their, trend lines. You can draw it. Let me clean this up. Yeah. People are drawing it like that. That's fine. Whatever. I like my version, but that seems to be the better one at the moment. So, if you, again, this is not right either. If you have any questions about this stuff, think about why I'm saying the market I think is going to go higher. Go look at FinTwit, StockTwit, TwitTwit. Everybody's bearish. I'm telling you, that's not the setup for a market smash. The market does things when people are out of position. When everyone's bullish, like on Monday, it drops. When everyone's bearish, it doesn't usually drop. I'm just telling you that now. QQQ, nice little hold of the 2-day range, probably pops. Now again, where? I'm assuming it can probably get back to the top, because the people are going to realize very quickly that the whole talk of a 100 basis point rate hike going in the Fed is not happening. It's not happening. So does it rise into it? That's my guess. IWM, choppy, high or low, probably gets back up into the 190 area. Said that. I'm going to try to move quick. Gold, again, I love when everybody tells me I'm an idiot and that I don't know what I'm talking about. And I've been trading this for 20 years, and I see all the FinTwit bullish. I'm telling you, gold does not end, does not bottom when everyone's bullish. It never has. It just doesn't. I'm sorry. You can get mad about it, and you can whine, and you can pout. But I'm telling you, everybody who bought up here in the last 2 years is going to get wiped out. Remember I talked about bull traps, or bear traps, on the SPY? Just pretend this is the 10-minute. It's got to take out the low. Liquidity has to increase. People have to get blown out of their positions. People who've been holding forever have to just say, I'm done with this. It goes lower. How low? We don't know. But once the trap starts, we know we're close. Then you can buy this stuff. Until then, please leave gold alone. Silver, same thing. Seeing the same clowns. I don't know. They're not clowns. They mean well. Again, if you're buying physical, I get it. But you're buying paper silver, leave it alone. I still think it comes back down. It's the same thing. When is the best time to buy silver? I'll show you guys what I always say. Check out the monthly, right? Check out the monthly. It's when the Fed capitulates. Shink. Fed capitulates. Zink. That's always the best time. So let's run through the miners real quick, okay? GDX. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Keep in mind, check the monthly. Like, this thing can get absolutely smashed. Smash City. Like, just absolutely crushed. And it won't make any sense. So, if I know that's coming, why would I short it? GDXJ acting much better. Checking on the monthlies. Probably going to come back down into that upper 20s. Minimum. Mid-20s. Minimum. Minimum. We like this one because it actually could pop back into the May highs. And I've said, ultimately, if gold is in a long-term bull market, the juniors become the buys right off the start. Because they're going to be the ones that have the most growth potential, in the sense of, like, a big miner is probably going to get them at discounts to whatever gold holdings they have. Go higher. AG, talked about this. Happy it bounced for the bulls, but just leave it alone. It's just a sloppy, choppy, ends down kind of move. I'm going to run through the metals, all of them. The only one I like right now is AEM, but I don't really like it at this price. Newmont, leave it alone. I swear to God. If you don't know the past, let me show it to you. The monthly. This is what was going on here in 2008. Looked real nice, and it pulled back to a trend line. Smash. Pulling back to a trend line. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. I'm just telling you right now, a few people pointed out, like, you're crazy. You don't know what it's talking about on Newmont. And I do. I've been trading stuff forever. PAAS, same thing. Just pass on it. I don't know how low these things can go. You have to remember, in a panic sell, nothing is safe. If nothing is safe, well, guess what? You got to wait. It's better to be late than early because, again, you have many of the trading opportunities. And if you're wasting them holding on to gold or silver miners, gold, silver, the miners, you're going to be real annoyed when you could have shorted the market or done some other things, and you could have done really well. And then you could have closed those shorts out and just slammed right into the metals and miners and just disappeared for 6 months. That's the easy trade. I'm trying to tell you how it is. AEM has volume, so I expect a retest. If it goes lower, even better. That's all I would say. X was down today. New core guided, basically flat. I said this recently. Watch the 200-day. This is a sloppy, choppy monster, and guess what? Here it comes right back down. New core. I mean, you warned. Chop top. You saw the top. Guidance, whatever. Not even that bad. Took it down. Here it comes. I've said many times. Here's my alert. 90. Come on in. Please. I like these names long term, but I'm not buying them. Absolutely not. Not now. VALE, same thing, chopping around, expected to fill the gap, probably can go lower. Again, they throw the baby out with the bathwater. If you know that reference, you know what I mean. Like, all the good stuff, too. CCJ, a lot of people are trying to short this. And again, I think it's going lower, again, just like it did in 2008. No, I'm just trying to look like a teenager. Here you go. Zabow. Pow. Nothing's safe. Baby goes out with the bathwater. People are trying to short up here. I'm just telling you, like, you're going to have to be patient. It probably is a short. I don't care about the fundamentals. You can talk about them all day, but if that's your rationale behind trading, I fundamentally know you're going to fail at some point because the market's going to be irrational. It's not a rational game. If the market was rational and like economists knew what the hell was going on, economists would be the billionaires, not the actual institutions that provide liquidity in the game. Keep that in mind. Economists, never met a billionaire economist, have you? No. Arrow, I like it. Wait for down in the 8s. Billionaire economist. Unreal. Like, people are just so silly. They don't realize this. If the economists could predict anything, and it mattered, and the stock market was the economy, and the economy was the stock market, then it'd be easy. It's not. Mosaic talked about it. Leave it alone. I mean, these are all due to bounce. The market bounces, but I'm not playing them. I mean, there's just, I don't know. I need to trade the leaders. CF isn't a leader. It's an ag name. I like it long term. Probably bounces around between 105 and 100, but I think you're going to see it down where? I mean, I am hoping, and now again, I hate when anyone says hope, I always kind of get a little nervous, but I'm hoping under 80 to 77. Worst case. Best case, I don't know. Whatever case. Base case. Tech. Talked about tech today. Talked about you could be buying these dips. Here you go. Doji probably going to come back up and test the 85. SMH holding up pretty well all day. Here you go. Right back at the range of lows. I always tell people, expect chop. Expect chop. Chop at the top. Why not chop on the bottom? Look at this. You had a double top. Are we double bottoming? Now again, double meaning left shoulder, like a left and a right. Probably comes back up minimum to where it was. Maybe even gets to 220s plus. I mean, you have to keep in mind, the market maker is going to try to knock you all out who are bearish, just like they do when the bulls are at the highs. Apple, slamma jamma, nice little retest here. Doji, now keep in mind what's going to happen with Apple. Apple's going to get a ton of commentary because of their new phone coming out. It probably is an absolute piece of junk, but guess what? Media's going to talk about it, and everyone's going to get excited about it, and they're going to get an upgrade, and it's probably going to come right back to the 160s. It's my biggest trade right now because it's been so easy to get down here. That and SMH, and then Mr. Softy, easy. Went slightly lower today, and I just started buying. I mean, not a ton, but I bought some yesterday, and then I bought some today. And now when I say not a ton, I'm like, no, I got 10 calls. Woohoo! But I did, again, against my longer-term puts. All right, cool. I'm now more bullish than I am bearish. People are like, heads are going to explode when I tell them that. Google, same thing. Comes back into the range. Doji today. Why are you doing that every time? Doji today. hammer, whatever you want to call it, probably due to bounce. Probably the 20-day. Watch it come right into the 20-day. That's simple. CRM acting really well. Came right back to the retest zone. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Here you go. Probably what? I don't know. 20-day channel high. Just assume what? If the market makers want everyone bearish to cover, they're going to run it up. They're absolutely going to run it up. Don't forget that. Amazon holding up. Came back, made a higher low. I don't know. Probably coming back up here to the 130s, mid 130s. I mean, keep it simple. Netflix got some interesting action during the day, and it was all over the place, but then what? Closed back. That just doesn't look right. Closed back near the highs. Wide and loose. Wide and loose. Inside day. Again, use your references at the lows to stop out if you have to. Roblox. Talked about this yesterday. Like, this thing doesn't look bearish. Holding up at the highs. Things that aren't bearish. Now, again, there's a lot of mixed signals, but there's a lot of retests, too. So you got to be cognizant that the market, if it's going to smash, it's got to go lower. Now, this name looks a little weaker. What? Mr. Facebook, Mr. Meta. Now, I don't know what Zuckerberg, if he's getting sued again. But watch what happens down here. If it pops right, if it doesn't continue down, it might pop right back up and fill the gap maybe. Market's notorious for doing what? Chopping people out before the trend goes. MicroStrategy, we talked about this one. If you bought it back here, you rode it up into the supply zone, back down. Doesn't look terrible. Terrible. I'll just rattle through a few of these tech names. I mean, NVIDIA today. I mean, tight action. Could have totally opened the door and just got blown out. Didn't. Good old Tesla. How can you be bearish when it's acting like this? I'm sorry. Like, this is not even close back to the lows, and it's up near the highs. Maybe it needs to snap up and fill some, I don't know, back testing zones. Like, I mean, things that don't look bearish, y'all. I'm trying to be like, cut it out. Cut you in, cut you out, whatever. This is not bearish. Like, this should be absolutely getting smoked. Cheddar. Would not agree? It's not. NDAQ. Here you go. Holding up near the highs. Holding the 20-day. All of this stuff looks like it's holding up pretty well. Things that I would not consider bearish. EXPI. Here's another thing. This thing should be absolutely getting pounded, and it's making a higher low. I think it's still going to get back up into the 90s at some point. It's notorious for chopping at trend, between the next move. Okay? Just know your target. Let me run through the XLF. Again, came right back in, popped right back up. Closed. I mean, it's a higher low. Technically, looks okay. Morgan Stanley finished green. Didn't really pull back that hard, did it? Looks pretty hammerish. Again, I think you're going to see some what? Okay. Why do you do that? I pressed the mouse too fast. I probably see the 90 range again. Then you can bring out the short hammer. JP Morgan, again, should be lower. Probably going to come back, fill these gaps. I don't know for sure, but if you were looking to short, watch the market. Because the market will give you the tells. Okay? Okay? Keep it simple. Always talk about EXPI. Even EXPI today was flat. Piece of junk. Doji. Bleh. People who I always talk about because, again, I own the stock. People I know own it. You didn't sell any? Well, whatever. I've been getting it down in the last, year and change down in this level. Not great. Lottery tickets. Good luck. Kapow. UTHR said, please just leave it alone. The trade is over. Here you go. Double bottom. Another double bottom. Triple bottom. Whatever you call it. Rip. Take profits. Comes back to the breakout. Breaks up to the monthly trend line. Now it's just compressing, going sideways. I don't trust it at all. Unless it gets bought out. Someone knows something, let me know. I don't think so. I don't think so, Tim. USO. Talked about it. Look for shorts on oil on the pops. Up into the 20-day. Alarm went off. Again, if the market wants to kind of creep back up, maybe it comes into the trend line. I'm telling you, don't be too quick to short this stuff. Natural gas. Now, I think this one probably does what? Chops around before the market goes where? South for the winter. So, at this point, let me get my volume back. You got to be careful with this stuff because there's so much headline risk. Please promise me you'll be safe. XOP, started looking at the drip again, but then my alarm went off, and I'm like, well, if the market's going to rise again, where does it seem likely to come back to? Probably going to come back at least to retest the highs. I mean, where's the best? I guess that's technically, hey, Cat. That's probably going to be happening. Ended on ExxonMobil. Again, things that aren't bearish. These names, if they're going to get smoked, they're going to get smoked. Holding up pretty well. Keep in mind, if oil's hanging out and holding up, then that's not market capitulation about to roll over kind of stuff. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the donations, love. Also appreciate the haters. Yes, I agree, Pippa. Because you know why? Like, they show me exactly what I need to see sometimes. Sometimes I don't have time to go to stock twits and just laugh at all the comments. But when everyone's bearish at the lows and the put call ratio during CHOPX, OPX, it's probably going to bounce. And we'll probably see it tomorrow. Be safe. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.